Ready to stop spinning your wheels and start moving your business forward? You're in the right place. On each episode of Accelerate to Achieve, we'll discuss a crucial step in the journey, offering tips and advice that you can apply immediately within your own company. From financial management to customer success to digital transformation, we'll cover it all while providing leadership lessons from top industry insiders. In just 15 minutes, you'll be inspired to build momentum through action and achieve incredible results. Welcome to Accelerate to Achieve, the podcast that moves you from question to answer and idea to execution.
Hello, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Accelerate to Achieve podcast Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Ryan Walter, the founder of Parrels Advisory. 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2. That doesn't just apply when we're talking about new math. It can often equate to so much more if done right. But there's a chance it can fall short of expectations and have the opposite impact to what was hoped, if not done correctly. Now, I'm really excited today because we're joined by Kathleen Albertson, and she just doesn't know how to shy away from a problem. A passionate advocate and volunteer, she's devoted much of her time to supporting women in need. Seeing an opportunity to do more for those who need it the most, Kathleen helped bring the power of two great organizations, Cleaning for a Reason and Helens Angels, together to achieve more, and currently serves as a patient care coordinator for both. Kathleen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start, I'd love it if you can tell us just a little bit about your background, what's inspired and driven you down this path.
Well, now it's been about 30 years, but I'm a survivor of domestic violence. And after going through that, I never wanted to have someone feel the way I felt when something bad had happened to me. I felt all alone and I didn't have someone to talk to, and there was nobody really to help me. So I swore once I was okay and out of that situation that I would never not help another human being that needed it.
Well, that's great. And I think that really speaks to, what lays at your heart and what drives you forward. Can you tell us a little bit about both organizations?
Yes, I'm happy to. So, I guess now it is 2010, I got involved with Cleaning for a Reason initially. I was working for a janitorial cleaning company, and they had been to a trade show and they found Cleaning for a Reason. And it's the only nonprofit for cleaning in this industry. So they were like, oh, let's see if we can try to help here locally with it. So they had known me and my work with domestic violence patients. So they asked me if I would be interested in getting involved with Cleaning for a Reason. So right away, I loved the mission. So I got involved. And through that and through my job in the janitorial industry, I met the people who ran Helens Angels and the founder, Missy Quinn. And she had said to me, oh, I hear you do Cleaning for a Reason. I run Helens Angels. We really need to talk. Maybe there's a way that, we could help people together. So I got involved with that and we started working together trying to help the same people. Then over time, I became the patient care coordinator then for Helens Angels. And we give free financial assistance to people with a breast cancer diagnosis. And working together has just been wonderful because when I talk to a patient, whether they called for Cleaning for a Reason or Helens Angels, if they fit where we can help them with Helens Angels as well, then I help them with both and numerous other organizations that I've gotten involved with through this nonprofit work. So then we're like a referral system kind of, and we help with so many different things and aspects, and we become their friends, and I enjoy just talking to them. So it's a wonderful experience to have merged together.
So, in mentioning that these two organizations kind of came together, found synergies, worked much more closely, what was that experience like to really build the connection between the two? And were there any unexpected challenges that came up?
It was very nice to realize that there's all these different organizations that help people in a different way. So we now you realize that there's somebody who needs a wig, and then I know of an organization that does that, and there's somebody who needed help paying their mortgage, and we know of an organization that does that. And just by doing this, you can really be an advocate to help these women or men, anybody that has a breast cancer diagnosis or any other type of cancer. You're able to really just be able to you're a resource for them. And I just think it's wonderful.
So does the impact you and the organizations have go beyond alleviating just some of the burden people have to carry? Like, what can giving time back or providing peace of mind really mean for someone?
I'm going to actually give you an example of something that's just happened this week. And again, this morning, there was a woman that was referred to me from someone who knows me in the local community. And the woman happens to be going through domestic violence. But in talking to her, she also has breast cancer and has a big financial need. So I was able to help her get her home cleaned, which is wonderful that she didn't even know that existed, give her financial assistance, as well as get her associated with an organization that can help her from being abused right now. But she told me this morning she just needed somebody to talk to. And I spoke to her, and it was regarding, some of it was cancer, some of it was abuse, and she just needed a friend. She just needed somebody to listen and somebody who cared. And with all of these things that I'm involved with, that's the key, to care.
So I'm wondering also about that, the impact beyond just the individual. And it's clear how much and how important this is for them. But what's that impact like to those around the others, such as their family or, closest to them as well? What have you seen when it comes to that?
I have actually found family members end up becoming so grateful for what we had done that either they ask if there's a way they can volunteer and help us, or they write a check to donate to someone else, or they come and they speak at like a local event that I have, tell their story or how it affected them, by being the family member. I've had husbands, I've had children, and they come back and they've talked for us about how it affected them and what our help for them meant to someone in high school and to a father. And you get to see like that we didn't just help that person who has cancer. We've helped their family.
I'd love to turn the spotlight a little on you now. Often the benefit we provide, goes well beyond the definition of our job. How is your ability to be a resource, friend, and advocate further enrich what you're doing and your experience?
I do have a day job. People often make little jokes to me and go, I don't know when she sleeps. But it has become so rewarding for me, the people I've met. I don't even know how to fully express just like one woman has recently come back to me and said she's doing well now. And she said, oh, I want to do something for you. And I was like, oh, you don't need to do anything for me. I'm glad that I was able to help you. And we became friends. And she realized that my daughter is a hairdresser. Next thing I know, my daughter tells me that this woman had come in with her children to get her hair done. And I said to her, oh, that was so nice, and she says, you know what? She goes, I assumed that when you told me about your daughter, my kids needed their haircut, so this was my way to help you back. Now, she didn't have to help me back with anything, but things just come full circle in some of these situations. And they're just, it's just so nice to see. Like, sometimes I feel like these women have become like closer friends to me than people I've known my whole life.
I wonder, as you look back over this journey and as the organizations kind of came together, what advice would you give to yourself in the past if you could?
In one situation, a woman I had gotten very close with, she passed away of stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And after that had happened, I really questioned, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, because the impact on me was so sad. And I actually had gone in that month to 3 funerals. But the one woman really was hard for me. And I had mentioned to her husband, that I think I was going to take some time off and just not do this for a while. And the gentleman said to me, Kathleen, you cannot do that because the help you gave to my wife during what she was going through meant the world to her as well as us. And you need to keep doing that for other people. No matter how sad you are today, know that what you gave her while she was here meant the world to her. And she had left. She had given me, before she had passed away, she had given me a necklace. And I keep the necklace because it's a beautiful reminder of her. But what it was is she knew my story of having been a survivor of domestic violence. And it actually was a bird coming out of a cage. And she told me that to her, that reminded her that was me. And I just feel so good to know that I meant something to her. And after talking to him, I haven't given up and I keep doing it.
I think we're all grateful that you keep doing it. And, I wonder, there's a lot of folks out there who feel like these problems we're trying to deal with are important, but they're also really big and they're not able to solve them on their own. What advice do you have for someone who just wants to do good, follow their passion, but feels like it's just too much for them?
I say do it, even if you just start out small and do a little bit, because the reward you will get and how you will feel in the end is something every person should experience.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate that because, I think in the spirit of the podcast where we talk about acceleration and momentum, it's all about moving and it's all about taking that first step. And it's great to hear. And I think if we go back to the story you just mentioned as well, it's clear even something perhaps we didn't realize had a huge impact on someone. So it doesn't have to always be climbing Mount Everest. It's even those small steps can mean so much.
Yes, they can.
Well, Kathleen, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And before we go, is there anything you'd like to say for those interested in learning more?
You can go onto our websites. It's cleaningforareason.org and helensangels.org. And you can come to an event and see how you could help us. And you can donate because during this time of COVID, we've all struggled, as many people in the world have, to get, financial money to be able to have events and to be able, because they don't let people gather. But cancer didn't stop. There were people coming to us, and even though we weren't able to have events during that time, you still want to help these people. So any little bit someone could give would really make a difference.
Well, again, thank you for joining us, and so great to have you on this.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it as well.
And we're going to include everything Kathleen mentioned in the show notes. If you weren't able to catch that all, so you'll be able to reference those. And I really hope you've enjoyed this latest edition of our Spotlight series. Thank you all for listening today. I look forward to joining you on the next episode. Until then, I'm Ryan Walter. And remember that solving your biggest business problems begins when you decide to accelerate your approach and achieve more.
At Parrels Advisory, our focus is your business's future. Having the right insight, experience, and perspective makes all the difference when tackling far-reaching issues within your company. We are here to simplify the steps, unlock your potential, and move you forward, making your vision a reality. We've helped startups achieve massive growth, mid-sized businesses navigate digital transformation, and enterprises embrace innovation. Wondering how to jumpstart your business and move it forward? Contact us to discuss your audacious goals during a complimentary consultation. Thank you for listening to this episode of Accelerate to Achieve. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you listen. Got a question, feedback on the program, or interested in being a guest? Simply go to parrels.co/A2A-podcast and send us a message. To learn more about our work or to book a consultation, visit us at parrels.co/contact. Until next time, remember that solving your biggest business problems begin when you decide to accelerate your approach and achieve more.